So we're double dipping on Jessica Tarlov shutting down her MAGA co-host, this time about how Kamala has yet to do interviews despite the fact she's traveling to swing states and actually talking directly to voters. The right is trying once again to spin a narrative, however, surprise, surprise. So let's see how Jessica shuts that down.
She's a smart woman. Go answer the questions. What's so hard?
Well, Trump doesn't actually dialogue with anyone in a way that exposes any details of his plans. You know, he says, I'm going to deport them all. And no one follows up and said, well, how are you actually going to round up those millions of people?
That's not true.
Yes,
he's done CNN. He's done all kinds of, he's done pretty much every outlet. Name an outlet he hasn't gone to and answered questions.
He calls these press conferences and he rants for upwards of an hour.
And then he takes questions.
But he doesn't answer them in any sort
Well, that's up to the American people to decide.
Exactly.
At least or the press.
Or the press, but he's doing it.
The point about what Kamala is doing is that we have 81 days left. She will absolutely be sitting down, but she doesn't need to do it right now. Her supporters are not upset about it. Even people who are in the middle are not upset about it. She's giving speeches. She's telling people what she stands for. And that video with Governor Walz was charming.
And this is exactly correct. I mean, Trump rambles, doesn't explain policy because he doesn't really have none or he's not smart enough to articulate it. He won't critically answer any questions. Just look at the debate, how many times he was asked about one thing and just said, but immigration. And he just makes these vague statements about the things he's going to do, usually about things that everyone with sense knows would be impossible, like doing mass deportation. It's just something to play to the bigots in his base. Or he speaks to removing the Department of Education without listing a plan of what would come next because he's just trying to buy votes from people who like the way that he sounds about things. Meanwhile, Kamala lays out her goals, explains what she's going to implement to get there, speaks to voters, and speaks to what she stands for. And the right is still like, but we need more. The truth is, campaigning is a game that you have to play. And at this moment, she just doesn't need to do interviews. She's surging past Trump without doing them. Meanwhile, Trump's campaign is dying, which is why he's scrambling to do all these different sorts of things.
I have my vote. I have no idea if the rest of America is on board with that.
But you do know that their plans have been evaluated and Trump's is more inflationary. Moody's did that.
Trump
you do know that
Trump
the
spent
GDP
the money
is
after
better.
COVID.
We wouldn't have this kind of election right now where Kamala Harris is trending this way and Donald Trump is trending this way if what they're doing wasn't working. Wherever you get your polls, 538, Real Clear, The Economist, the Cook Political Report, any of it, Kamala Harris is trending in the right direction.
Well, that's
and that's
true.
because of her approach to this. And
so if it's not broke, don't fix it. And
well,
I get that.
That works.
And that's just the facts. Kamala is up in all the polls and has consistently been gaining and surging up. When she first stepped into the race, Republicans spoke about honeymoon period. It'll be over in a few weeks. Now, clearly, it's not going away. It's going to stay. She is still outdoing Trump at events with the crowd size. She's out fundraising Trump. She's up on him in the polls. So one campaign in this race needs to scramble, and the other is going to keep doing what it's doing that has caused a massive surge. Trump's tariff plans will cost American families almost $4,000 if he gets into office and is able to implement them. Meanwhile, Kamala's entire plan is skewed towards saving you money and making things cheaper for you. It's a pretty clear answer. If you don't own a corporation, if you're not in the top 10%, you should vote for the only candidate fighting for the middle class, fighting for women's reproductive rights, fighting for equality for all, who doesn't want to do literal fascism and isn't a delusional old man. Politics needs something new. We need a fresh face. We've seen what Donald Trump brings to the table, and nobody with sense wants that to come back. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.